Here's how to turn your first VA loan into a long-term asset. If you're using your VA loan to buy your first home, then you're not just making a purchase. You're making a decision that can either set you up long-term or keep you starting over every time you move. And in a market like Hampton Roads, where people are constantly relocating in and out, that decision matters more than most people realize. Because your first VA loan is not just about where you live today. It's about what that property becomes tomorrow. Here's the shift. Most buyers walk into their first purchase asking the question, do I like this house? But the better question is, will this house work for me later? Because if you get that part right, your first home stops being an expense and very quickly starts becoming an asset. So let's walk through what that actually looks like. First, you have to think about rental potential from day one. Even if you have zero intention of renting it out right now, you want to be asking, is this an area where people consistently need housing? Is it close to the bases, hospitals, shipyard, or other major employers? Is this the type of home that a future renter would actually want? Because in this area, demand is not random. It's driven by military movement, job stability, and access to the water and lifestyle. That is what keeps rental demand steady over time. Second, you need to think about the type of property. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. They buy something highly customized to their exact taste, or something that only works for a very specific type of buyer. And that makes it harder to rent later. Instead, you want to focus on what I call broad appeal. 3-bedroom homes, functional layouts, and locations that are easy to access. Nothing extreme, nothing niche, just solid, repeatable demand. Because you're not just buying for you, you're buying for the next person too. Third, you need to understand the timeline. The VA loan requires you to occupy the home initially as a primary residence, but it does not mean you're locked into that property forever. In fact, a lot of military families, the move is already built in. PCS orders come, life changes, and opportunities shift. And when that happens, you have a choice. You can sell the home and reset, or you can hold it, turn it into a rental, and keep that asset working for you. That's where the strategy really starts to compound. Because now you have one property building equity while you go use your VA loan again or transition into your next purchase. And over time, that's how portfolios get built. Not all at once, but one smart decision at a time. Now let's talk about what this looks like in the real world. Let's say you buy a home with your VA loan, little to no money down. You live in it for a few years, and during that time, the market moves, even modestly, and you're paying down that loan every single month. Then you get orders or decide to move. During that time, the market moves, even modestly, and you're paying down that loan every single month. Then when you get orders or decide to move, instead of selling, you rent it out. And now that property is being paid down by someone else while it potentially continues to appreciate, and you move on to your next opportunity. That's a completely different outcome than buying a home, selling it, and starting over every single time. One builds momentum and the other resets it. So the real takeaway here is this. Your first VA loan should not be about finding the perfect house for right now. It should be about finding a property that works today and still works 5 years from now. Because if you can do that once, you can do it again. And that is how you go from homeowner to someone who actually owns multiple assets over time. And in the next video, I'm going to break down something most people don't even realize is possible. How you can use your VA loan more than once, and how smart buyers stack property over the course of their career. Because this is where it starts to get really interesting. So follow along if you want to learn how to turn your VA loan into a long-term wealth strategy.